while, but does everybody remember where we were at the end?
No. No.
Does anyone?
No. No.
Vaguely, yeah. I know that we Blood Eagle Jackal,
Yep.
Ah, yes.
and
Okay.
let's see. We got a ship.
Got a new ship. You guys talked your way out of a potentially very serious encounter with two
dragons,
metallic dragons.
Yep.
You you guys were all prepared to set sail north out of Zaxaroth.
Did we say where we were going?
I think yes, you did. I think you did actually set sail, and we kind of called it at the end as you guys were leaving Zaxaroth behind. So yeah, the party. You guys were heading north. The two main destinations that you have north is you are going to visit the gnomes. On your quest to use some of the dragon blood obtained from the bargain that you all made with said metallic dragons. That you got a vial of dragon blood, and you are going to this gnomish city in these mountains to hopefully get some wine made that will please Paladine, the golden god dragon of all dragons. And then the other thing is to visit the Pirate Isle. To see the fortune teller Madame Inanna, in order to hopefully discern some information about the location of the remaining skulls that you need to find.
Cool.
So.
It all started coming back to me once you said Blood Eagle.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys had that big scene on the deck of the ship. We've had some. Everybody is leveled up, I believe, and we've had some position changes on the ship as well.
Yeah.
Some new titles for a couple of people.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. I'll say that it has probably been a day since you have left Zaxaroth. The party has sailed northward. Up the and out of the mouth of the on the other side of this mountain range. Give me just one moment here. This bad boy pulled up. Sorry here. Yes. So you guys sailed up through the Cloven Mountains and have now exited out and begin to sail up this very wide river that also has a few kind of almost lakes attached to it, through where it says, if you're looking at the map, through the Vilhone Wilds. You guys spend a few days. Is there anything in particular on this journey northwards to the Sea of Fallen Stars that you guys would be doing? Maybe, with the new ship, or anything in particular that you guys would like to be to make a point of saying that you would be doing on the relatively short journey north to the Sea of Stars.
I don't have anything in particular.
I don't either.
I did have a thought, though. I know we sent Jim with a G off to Almsraven to do some reconnaissance work. Did we set a meeting place with him for when he comes back?
I believe you were supposed to meet back in Zaxaroth. If I remember correctly, the plan that you guys had made was to travel north, visit the gnomes and the CRS, and then make your way back to Zaxaroth
Okay.
You have the information that you need, and hopefully the wine that you need, so you can make your plans from there.
And we know.
Go ahead.
And we know where the gnomes are.
Yes. Yeah. You have marked on your map the location of the gnomes.
Okay.
That is. So if you're looking at the map and the Sea of Fallen Stars, you'll see the Pirate Isle, which is the largest isle there, kind of in the center of the largest part of the Sea of Fallen Stars. To the north of it, and in the Earthfast Mountains.
That's right. Okay.
Is the location of the gnomish city.
Got it.
Known as Gnomengard.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, I don't have anything in particular I would be working on.
Okay. Anyone else? Belrin.
Not necessarily something I'd be working on, but I do want to find a spot where we think we could stop to try to get some more crew members. Do some
you imagine that when you visit the Pirate Isle to talk to I imagine we visit the Pirate Isle to talk to the CRS. You have heard about a pirate city being on that isle. So that might be the ideal place for you guys to recruit some new members.
Because I know we're pretty slim on gems. Didn't.
So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys are a little thin in the numbers. So yeah, absolutely. When you guys reach the Pirate Isle, so would you guys want to try to visit the gnomes first and then catch the Pirate Isle on the way back? Or are you wanting to go to the Pirate Isle first and then go visit the gnomes?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it matter.
I think we go to the gnomes first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'll be gathering up. I'm sure we have like quite a collection of wines on board, right?
Not necessarily. You guys have the Dragon's Blood Ale. You have some of that left.
We don't have any wine. We have
Yeah.
Blood of the Leviathan Ale, Dragon's Blood Ale, and Iron Maiden Dark Ale.
Oh, okay. We have just ales. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to try and like get some different casts for the gnomes to like see what we're working with and what we got. I thought we had any at all.
I thought we had like a little flask of the wine that Paladin gave us.
Yes, you have a small flask of some of that wine, yes.
Alright, well I guess that'll be good enough. Okay.
Alright, so yeah, you guys sail for a few days. As you guys sail, it's rough going at a few points. There are a few points where you have to engage the newfound feature of your newest ship, and use the windlass sail, while the other ships, unfortunately, the crews have to get down into the very lowest area and get on the oars in order to help propel the ship through a few areas where there is no wind and the passage is narrow.
Zezel just goes scooting by saying beep beep.
Yeah, especially in this area as it bottlenecks down between these two mountain ranges as you're coming upon New Breen. But as you guys make your way out into this bay near New Breen, things begin to open up, and you can feel the sea air starting to pull you in towards the sea, and you guys no longer have to use any oars or anything else like that. And the water is absolutely gorgeous. This area definitely feels much different. It's not as tropical and hot as it is in the south and like the Shining Sea or any of those areas. It's definitely more. It's definitely a very different kind of climate. It's definitely a little bit more temperate. The Sea of Fallen Stars is almost like though it is technically a sea, it's very much behaves like a large inland lake, like a very large system of inland lakes, kind of almost like a scaled up version of our Great Lakes here in America and Canada. So it's very much that kind of climate. It's definitely not definitely not quite the same as the South. And as you guys sail, you begin to see quite a bit of ship traffic through this area. There's fishing vessels bound, quite a bit of industry going on. You guys see traders of all kinds, um, and even occasionally in the distance you catch a sloop or two with black sails. Um, as you guys make your way out of the bay and properly into the Sea of Stars, I would say it's probably been a total of about 3 days and or 3 nights and 2 days as day breaks when you guys are making your way into the Sea of Fallen Stars. It takes you another couple of days to make your way north, uh, up past uh, Procomper, or however the hell you say that, and then into this northernmost little inlet where some of these rivers spout off to. In order to, if you see here, just west, just slightly southwest of where it says Earthfast Mountains, you'll find like almost a little indention into this little peninsula that sticks into the Sea of Fallen Stars, and there is where the entrance to the city, where you've been directed toward the entrance of the city of Nomengard. Um, and as you pull up into this area, you see a massive like port, and there's all kinds of various ships with all manner of contraptions on them. You see other windlass sail type ships anchored, and some that are a better design than yours, and some that are a much worse design than yours. As you see one ship that you guys passed abreast of who seems to be leaving Nomengard, uh, as its windlass sail propels it forward and then goes down into the water. The action of it's such an inefficient motion under the ocean because it doesn't turn the sail sideways, that it actually pulls the ship backwards about half the distance that it shot forward. So the ship is just going back and forward like this in the water, barely making any ground as it slowly, almost inchworms its way forward. You can see all manner of gnomes, dwarves, and humans hitting, well, not necessarily the gnomes or the dwarves, but the humans aboard hitting the deck at each time the sail violently scrapes its way across the deck. And what's different about this, though, is though you see this massive port with all these ships coming and going, you don't see the city. All you see is some people filing in and out filing up and down this kind of stairway that leads to what looks like a road. And you see people with carts and various things walking back and forth along this road that looks like they're heading just towards the mountains. So I imagine you guys find a place to weigh anchor, or find a place to drop anchor and dock here at Nomengard. And who all will be going inside? I imagine just the party.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else you'd like to specify you're taking with you into Nomengard?
I don't think so.
Do we have any gnomes? Fuck.
No, you don't have any gnomes.
Okay, well, then just us.
All right. Absolutely. So you guys, you guys make your way off the ship, and you make your way kind of all together, and you're passing all various kinds of people. There are a lot of gnomes, however. I would say it's probably gnome predominant, as you see many people bustling back and forth with all. You see gnomes with strange contraptions, strange carts with way too much extra shit on them, that are trying and failing to propel themselves and with various methods, carrying casks of wine and many other products. As you guys make your way down this road, and at the end of this road's maybe 1,000 feet and then you see a large structure at the end of the road. And as you guys make your way, some time passes. It takes you guys 20 minutes, 30 minutes to walk down this road. You see that there is a line of people waiting to, not many, not nearly as many. Most of the people seem to be doing a lot of their trading outside of this building. There's a bit of an area that's set up where some people have some different booths and things of that nature set up, peddling various wares. But you see that if you want to enter the city of Nomengard properly, it seems you have to go into this building.
Okay.
Okay.
What is there anything special about this building?
It seems to be made of stone. It's a stonework building. It's kind of tall. If you'd like to make a perception check, you're more than.
I would love to make a perception check. That was going to be a 16.
16. All right, with a 16. The one thing about this building that you find odd is next to the building are a pile, is the only way I can describe it, is there's a pile of several different variations of what seems to be the same thing. It looks to be like some kind of cage. Some are made of metal, some are made of wood, but there's like a pile of cages that you imagine 8 to 10 people could fit inside. And on the outside of all these cages, you see these various styles and different kinds of cages. You see like attachment points where they could be attached to things.
Wait, like the cages
Okay,
or
there's a little person.
people in the
Is
cage?
there an elevator?
Cage.
Like a shaft or anywhere?
Nothing that you can see.
Okay. Is like the door open at this building?
Yeah, there's two. So there's like almost like a portcullis, and there's doors, and they're standing wide open. And you see a few gnomes who are standing outside, almost kind of like guards, kind of.
I'm gonna walk up and talk to him. Say, how do you gain access to Nomengard?
Oh, well, just step right this way, and wait for your turn on the lift.
Okay. I go and trust these gnomes and wait my turn on the lift.
So as everybody just following Aruk into this building, yeah, you guys make it into the building, and you see that there is occasionally you'll see they bring a basket, one of these cages over, and they hook it to this rigging system, and then people get inside the basket, and then it begins to slowly, and you see this massive set of gears and everything. Most of the building is taken up by this mechanism that seems to lower these cages.
Okay. Is there a long line?
No, there's a few people in front of you. You see a few people get in and start to head down, and then before too long, maybe a couple of minutes pass, you see like 7 gnomes carrying one of these cages, and they've got like attached to like a fucking Rube Goldberg machine of wires and ropes and things, and they slowly bring it over and attach it to this second Rube Goldberg machine of wires and ropes and things, and they open the door and say, "All right, step on in." There's another gnome in there who like opens the door for you.
Before I step in, I'm like, just real quick, how many people have died on one of these?
He kind of pauses and he goes, "What, just humans?"
And gnomes.
And he goes, "Well, not that many recently."
Recently.
See,
You guys make some recent upgrades?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Innovation is the name of the game. Hold on one second.
Okay. How long has this new system been in place?
About 4 days.
Alright, I step into the cage.
Then go ask mommy. Go fix your swim. Go ask mommy, okay?
It's not sunsetting yet. Adorable.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so he says about 4 days.
Okay. I step into the gnome or to the cage, and I like slightly say a prayer to Calypso.
I imagine the rest of you are following Aruk.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I step in, I'm gonna ask, where's the if we run into an issue, where's the emergency stop on this thing?
Yeah.
Emergency stop. Well, that's an excellent idea. I'll bring it up at the next council meeting.
Great. I step in.
Okay. Yeah, everybody files into this cage, and after a moment he says, "All right," and then he presses this lever, and you guys kind of drop like 3 feet immediately, just and then it slowly catches, and you're just like ting, 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 all the way down. So for the first maybe 30 to 60 seconds that you're inside this cage, you're just kind of traveling down this dark shaft, and all you can see above you is kind of this square of light. But pretty quickly, you see light begin to emerge from beneath you, and as you guys kind of emerge out of this shaft, you see this massive, and I mean absolutely massive, almost like beehive of a city that goes down, I mean, probably maybe 40 stories down. And there's all this stuff kind of built into this massive, almost like hole/well that seems to have been somehow magically drilled into the bottom of this mountain. And you're kind of almost like free dangling on these like chains and ropes and things like that. And now that you're not in the shaft, you're kind of swinging back and forth. But every so often, you'll see like a net on one of the layers. That's kind of like protecting most of one of the layers. And you see there's almost like floors. As you guys begin to go down, you're almost like passing by multiple floors and different stories of this thing. And every so often on a floor, there'll be kind of like a safety net there. And eventually you reach all the way to the bottom floor of the cavern. And the place is absolutely abuzz from top to bottom. There's gnomes running around everywhere. Some of them looking half burnt to a crisp, with smoke still coming off of their hair. An absolutely chaotic place. And as you guys step off of the cart, you see that a few more gnomes with these long like attachment like tools, they come up and they unhook the cart, and then they just kind of drag it off and throw it off into a pile. And it's just kind of chilling there in another pile of cages.
So, right. Okay. Is there gnomes at the bottom?
Yeah, there's gnomes busy about doing all kinds of various tasks. Just kind
I'm
of.
gonna pull out a scroll and like a blank piece of parchment. I'm gonna be like, hey, do you guys have a suggestion box?
A gnome near you, who is dressed kind of like something like maybe an artificer, and he's got some big old goggles kind of on the top of his head, and kind of crazy hair sticking out from in between the straps of the goggles, and he stops and he goes, "A suggestion box? Well, that's a great idea. I'll bring it up at the next council meeting."
How often do council meetings?
Once a month.
When was your last council meeting?
Last night.
Of course it was.
Classic.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
I want to ask him, where does Nomengard have any winemakers in town?
Absolutely. You'll want to go up to the 17th floor for that.
Up to the 17th floor. What floor are we on?
You're on the ground floor.
How do we?
So you
how do
can't
we go?
control what floor you get off at?
Well, that's a great idea.
Hey, maybe you guys should move up the suggestion box thing. Because, boy, let me tell you what, I'm about to drop some knowledge on y'all. Like, maybe have, like, an arcane focus or something in each cart, and maybe cast Featherfall on each cart, to provide extra safety. Maybe have
As
some
you're saying this, you
candles.
see he grabs out like a piece of paper, starts writing it down.
This guy's about to be the next council chair.
I'm like, also, maybe some seats would be nice. Getting off at different floors. How do you get up to floors? Is it another pulley system that takes you up the floors?
No, we tried that.
Ah. Did that fail?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Alright. Yeah. I might show up in next game. You guys in the next council meeting.
And he says, swell, well, good luck. And he kind of fucking takes off the notes, and he's like, like looking over as he's like flipping pages and stuff, and as he walks away.
Alright.
So do we know
Is
how
there
to go?
another gnome nearby? Yeah, how do we get to floor
Yeah,
17?
there's tons of gnomes all the way around. Yeah, they're just really
Alright, I'm gonna
distracted.
ask him how to get to floor 17.
Oh, and he goes, oh, you want to get to floor 17? Oh, right this way. And he shows, he kind of points over to the other side of this large chamber, maybe like 100 yards away. You see this contraption that can only be described. You see two stone columns that extend maybe 40, 50 feet in the air. And then you see that there's like a kind of a winch, and attached to each column is like a some kind of material that's elastic with a seat
No.
attached to the two things, and it's like slowly cranked.
It's a
And then
dungeon
locked in.
seat.
And then you see a gnome get into it, and then you see two other gnomes
Wait.
like do over like this and plug their ears as one of them rips on a rope, and shoots this gnome way up in the air. And just as he gets past the floor that he wants, you hear this like almost magically enhanced voice scream, 410! And this fucking net gets exploded out of one wall and shot across the entire gap. And he lands safely on the net, and then begins to crawl his way over to floor 10.
What
Who's next?
kind of
Oh boy.
Me first. Me first. Me first.
Do they have seats big enough for fucking Belrin?
Oh,
You don't
that's-
know. You have to go up there and find out.
I will cast the spider climb myself. I can crawl up there.
Willow, quick!
Okay, yeah. So you cast spider climb on yourself, and you begin to crawl your way up the floors.
Yeah.
Perry, you make your way over to the massive slingshot, and you see a gnome standing there, and he goes, "What floor?" As you see two gnomes behind him who are like cranking on this thing, pulling the seat back down.
I say real quick, do you think this seat will fit my buddy back here? And I point to Belrin.
He goes, Well, only one way to find out. He gives you a big smile.
What the test load? Like, will it project him high enough?
Okay, I don't want to waste a spell slot, but I do have fly. Like,
You have what?
fly.
I mean, that's up to you. If you want to cast fly on yourself,
Maybe prepare it
Yeah,
in case you don't
prepare
make it.
Yeah, how about I just prepare it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Floor 17.
yeah, I gotcha. Okay. All right. So Perry, you going first?
Yep.
Yeah, you hop into this like basically like 3-ply canvas tee, and that's attached with. Once you get closer to it, it almost looks like spider silk.
Okay.
Almost kind of like wove and braid together, and you hop into the seat, and they kind of like you see the other two gnomes kind of do this, and he goes, "Oh wait, what floor again?"
I say, real quick, I want to fix my cloak here, and I drape it over the back of it to where it can billow.
Nice.
And I say 17, 17.
And he goes, "All right, floor 14," and he fucking
Fuck.
and you fucking launch immediately up into the air, and then you hear a chorus of shouts of floor 17, floor 14.
Fuck.
And you guys all watch simultaneously as two nets both at the same time fucking go flying across the way. And luckily though, Perry, you make it just high enough that you actually land on floor 17.
Sweet.
And you land up there on the net, and you have to crawl your way across about 30 yards across this net to get to this balcony. But you finally make it, and there's a gnome up there, just kind of standing there. He's like dressed in like a leather apron and stuff, and he just says, "Fun, right? We just installed it."
All right, I'm
And I
ready.
just walk off.
He's like, "It's a lot faster than the old system." So, all right. So going back to the bottom, Zezel, you walk up after a few moments. They kind of get a hold of the sling and they drag the seat and drag it back down, latch it into place.
I'll look at him and say top floor.
Top floor. Yeah. So, which by the way, after each time these nets explode out, they kind of explode out to the other side and they catch on, and then they have a release and they kind of drape down and they kind of reel them back up. So you kind of have to wait for the nets to reel back in after each launch. But you get in and you wait, and you hear top floor and fucking boom, pull the rope. Fucking Zezel is launched fucking like literally hundreds of feet in the air. So when you got in there, Perry, they cranked you down like you weren't fully touching the ground. They crank his ass like all the way down. And down into like almost like this recessed area in the floor that they have. They crank his ass all the way down and then yeet him up into the fucking sky. Yeah, and you make it all the way up to the top floor. So I don't know how you're going to get down, because there's about 40 floors. So
It's fine.
find a way down.
That's
But
fine.
you're caught by a net on the very top floor.
Sweet.
All
So when
right.
I get to the top floor, I'm gonna look at the guy and be like, so how do you get down? Can I
He
just
goes,
jump and say floor 17?
He goes, well, there's a couple of options. You can take the stairs.
What?
Okay, what's the other option?
And he goes, well, if you know magic, you can climb down. Or if you want, you could just
I trust you.
jump. There's a
What
new
happens when
safety
you jump?
mechanism at the bottom that they designed to catch people in case they jump or fall.
Alright,
You just swan dive off and yell 417.
just lock eyes with him and just slowly lean off the side and drop.
So, alright, so you just fall right up the side of this balcony and you begin to free fall down to the bottom. Are you shouting anything? Is there anything you're trying to shout out to people as you're falling just at fucking free fall speeds? Like, for anybody on a passing floor, Zezel is like a fucking... he just fucking, you know what I mean? He's just a fucking whistle of air as he goes flying past each floor.
Nope, just billowing cloak and everything.
Just billowing coke. Once you get about a little bit more than halfway down, you hear a fucking siren begin to go off, and you hear like a and this like fucking crazy sound going on, and then all of a sudden there's a massive explosion at the bottom, like on the bottom floor, and this absolute fucking massive like you see like this super condensed canvas cube that's just kind of sitting in the middle of the floor, and it fucking explodes and fills the entirety of the area for like easily 70 feet and like 20
Hey,
feet
Nick.
of chicken feathers. What?
How far up am I from climbing?
I would say by the time all of this happens, you're just about to the 17th floor.
Can I possibly reach out and grab Cecil as he flies past.
You did try. Alright, so
Roll.
I'm gonna need a strength.
I see him and I start reaching out for him, hollering his name. Just keep following.
Okay. Because he is like fucking literally at like he's at fucking at this point like he's fallen like 20 plus
Man's-
stories. So
man's
his
moving
body
it,
is
like-
at terminal fucking velocity.
Yeah.
He is falling at absolute free fall speed. Moving at probably 80 or 90 miles an hour, like seriously, like falling fast. So
Okay.
that's gonna be.
Yeah.
Let's do athletics at disadvantage.
Okay. Alright. So 19 with disadvantage.
Damn.
19. Okay, now I need another athletics check at disadvantage to stay hanging on to the wall with him. You've caught him. You've got to hold him with one arm. Both of you are going to take a little bit of bludgeoning damage. You're going to each take, I would say, 2d6 of bludgeoning damage from that. And yeah, I'm
Okay, so
going to
that's
need to make a
23 with
23. You
disadvantage.
managed.
I'm plus 11.
Okay, yeah, you managed to hang on to the fucking wall, but it is like everyone hears it. Like everyone in this entire thing hears it. Like when you're in a stadium and you hear two football players crash into each other, and everyone in the stadium hears it when the helmets collide. That's what it fucking sounds like. Like it is.
I wanna imagine like I like reach the handle of my trident out and just pluck him by a belt loop, and then slam him against the wall.
Just like fling him back towards
Yeah.
the. Gotcha.
No, could he make an athletics check, and can I fling him onto the 17th floor?
Sure, yeah. You try to like after you get him, you try to throw him up there. Go ahead and I would say for Zezel, let's do acrobatics to see if he can stick the landing on the 17th floor.
It's gotta be a
No
disadvantage.
momentum.
It's just a change of momentum.
No, yeah, that actually might be at disadvantage because you just got the shit rocked out of you.
Fucking that 20.
Oh,
Even with disadvantage?
Oh, no, hold on.
Oh, I was about to say, did you double nat 20 that? God damn.
No. I just rolled the one nat 20 and got excited. 2.
Oh,
So, wait, but, so 15. Because I got a 13 in acrobatics, so.
okay, yeah, your natural kind of grace saves you from taking any more damage, but you do not land clean. You do not land pretty. So you kind of end up a fucking little bit of a heap on the floor, but you're safe and you made it.
Well, that was fun.
That leaves the rest of the party. That just leaves the rest of the party. If you guys,
there was just a pile of feathers.
yeah, so all of you are now fucking. There's like feathers to contend with, and there's just feathers all over the floor. They didn't really. It seems they didn't really like. It's an okay safety feature, but they didn't really think through the other side of it. Which seems to
I
be
was
the
just afraid he was gonna die. I was just afraid he was gonna die. As soon as he said a pile of feathers, I'm like, he's also gonna die.
So yeah, I'll say eventually, after a few more rounds of this, the rest of you make it up to the 17th
Yeah.
floor.
Alright.
Finally, all safe and sound on the 17th floor, and you begin to make your way into this actually beautiful kind of open like dining area. You see that there's a couple of different people who are in there tasting a few different wines, and towards the back you see there's like a few like displays of various bottles of different wines. There's a couple of casks on display and stuff, and there are some what looks like some gnomish winemakers. There's some some you do also see a few contraptions and machines that looks like that are maybe mashing towards the back that are mashing up some different products and things of that nature. And you see a few gnomes bustling around, working, doing various tasks. There's a small, like a bar area where you can taste wine and things of that nature. And also maybe even looks like, based upon where the displays are, probably maybe even also purchased wine from this bar.
How many winemakers are there?
You can't tell, but you can tell that there are quite a few different. There are quite a few different gnomes. None of them are necessarily dressed like in a uniform necessarily.
Okay.
So they might be just a bunch of individuals who all do their own thing. Kind of, they're all have their own kind of wines. I will say this: what you guys know about it's no real secret. Stories of places like Gnomengard and other gnomish cities around Faerun. Gnomes are quite known to be very independent and individualistic in that way. They don't. They can organize and do lots of things, but usually it kind of becomes a little bit of almost like a floor of Congress issue where they all kind of argue their own points and not a lot gets done. So they kind of tend to just loosely associate with one another and kind of all do their own things. Sometimes awesome shit gets done, but not often. Most of the time, it's just a bunch of crazy shit that happens. So yeah, you imagine that probably each one of these individuals has got their own little thing going on.
Gotcha.
Okay, I want to go to the closest gnome and ask him how much money is a lot of money to gnomes.
Good question.
How much money is a lot of money to gnomes? What a strange question. Well, I guess that depends on what you mean by money. And gold, well, I guess it just depends on the gnome. To some gnomes, young upstarters who are trying to make their name, 500 or 1,000 gold might be a lot to them. But then, you might find an older gnome who's, kind of the master of his craft or something who, doesn't really need money or something, and it would take quite a bit more to make him happy.
Who on deck is in control of the money? Who in the party?
That's
Perry.
me, yeah.
Perry, lean back and hey, do you think we could afford 10,000 gold to raise a bit of competition?
That's what I was thinking. We should host a competition.
Bellow out to the floor. And I'm going to bellow out to the floor and be like, attention, citizens of Gnomengard.
Yeah, you read my mind.
I issue forth a formal challenge.
Well,
anyone, and I get the flask, I'm like, anyone who can make a better wine than this wine in this flask gets 10,000 gold.
Hold on. Instead of gold, I wonder if they value gems better.
Or gems.
Because we've got diamonds also.
As you shout this out and you add at the end, your choice of gold or gem. We have various gemstones, but equivalent to the worth of 10,000 gold. You begin to see 3 or 4 interested heads kind of peek up from various places around the room. And pretty quickly you have a kind of a little gaggle around you bustling with hundreds of questions. Questions ranging from, is it real gold to, let me see the flask. What's in the flask?
Can I roll insight on the crowd to kind of get an idea of who seems more experienced in winemaking than others?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
That's a
We
23.
found that wine book, don't we?
Love you.
We could have him sign up for interviews.
That's a good idea.
I was just saying, maybe we do a limited number of runs, a limited number of spots available.
And maybe instead of the better wine than what's in the flask, just the best wine.
Well, okay, yeah, it has to be.
Because you're going to have people trying the wine, and then you're going to run out.
How many? I'm going to look over to Belrin and ask him if he has any vials on him.
I believe I do.
Yeah, I think you do. I think that was kind of part of your artificer kit.
I've got alchemist tools also, so I've got vials.
Okay. So yeah, I want to separate the flask into as many vials as we can. And that way they can test it and do things and try and make a better wine.
Okay.
Or we could just say the best wine.
You come up with about 7 1-ounce vials.
Okay.
Okay. You now with that 23 insight, Perry, you spy towards the back. You spy a kind of crooked-fingered, crooked-nosed, very old-looking gnome. and he's old, but you can see he's got there's kind of a little bit of a gleam in his eyes. Definitely, there's some youthfulness behind his age, and you get the impression that of the ones that you can see, he's probably the oldest, the most experienced of the wine people in this area.
Does he seem interested in the?
Yes.
He does. Okay.
Okay. I say we should offer 5 challengers and have take 5 names, pick out 5 people, and
Sure.
that way we can give them each a 1 ounce vial, and we still have 2 in
2
reserve.
ounces. Yeah, I agree.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. So
How
yeah,
are we going to determine who the 5 are?
So I'll say this: with that 23 perception, Perry, it's pretty simple for you to kind of pick out from the crowd those who seem to be those who seem to look like they have the most experience and are probably your best shot.
Okay.
You see a few young kind of like upstarts and stuff who,
Right.
you don't really get a great feeling
Money hungry.
from.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. So the old man's name is Corbus Heavycrank.
Okay.
Another entry is oh shit, where did I write that down at? Hold on, pull my thing up. Another entry would be Carlin Fiddlespell, Brillin Short Boots, Trayer Babble Trick, and Yidon Puddle Spinner.
Okay. Cool.
Somebody with the last name Puddle Spinner sounds like one hell of a fucking winemaker.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm going to. So those are the 5 that I like stand out to me.
Yes,
I'm going to point to each of them and gesture them over.
absolutely. Yeah. So you kind of like, all right, we've got our 5 contestants, and they come over,
Yeah.
and they're kind of all like, some of them seem pretty. Two or 3 of them seem pretty excited. The old man is kind of just like looking at you like he just wants to taste this wine and see if this is a fool's errand or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one seems to just be he's kind of just got his eyes on the wine, and he's mostly just kind of curious as to what is so good about this wine that someone would be willing to pay so much for someone to try to best it.
Okay.
All right. So you guys, I imagine, is there anything you would like to say to them, or are you just going to hand out vials?
I would say you can form a team and split your, and if you win, you can split your winnings, however you wish. You can work solo, you can work in a team, I don't care. The thing is, you just have to make a comparable or better wine than what is inside of each of these vials.
And one of the ingredients has to be dragon's blood.
Yes.
At this,
And we
the
do
old
have
man,
a vial of that, right?
We do
Corbus
have dragon's
Heavycrank.
blood, yeah.
He kind of injects himself into the conversation and says, well, I don't know where we would get any dragon blood around here.
We have it.
That won't be an
Yes.
issue.
Oh, you
We provide that
dragon.
supply. Any other supplies you'll need to provide on your own, but we will provide the dragon's blood.
All right, challenge accepted then. And
All right, so we hand out the how many vials of dragon's blood do we have?
We have
7,
7.
we
We're
hand out
keeping
5.
2.
All right, yeah, we hand out 5, and we hand out 1 vial of dragon's blood, 1 vial of the wine to each contestant.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, you guys pass that out, and you see they kind of take the tops off and sniff it, and they're kind of like, and then even 1 or 2 of them kind of take the teeny tiniest little taste of it, and they're like, oh wow! You can see the shock and surprise. You see 1 or 2 of them. You see a little bit of discouragement kind of come into their faces a little bit when they taste it, and they're like, oh shit, this is gonna be very hard to beat. So I'll say that you guys, some time is gonna have to pass for them to try to come up with a mixture and
So,
some different things.
But there's gotta be some
Um,
fun shit to do in a place like this. Sorry, go ahead. I walked talked over you.
Yeah, there's a lot that you guys could. There's multiple things you guys could do. You guys could just hang around here, tasting wine, get a little drunk, hang out, maybe buy some shit. Or you guys could try to go explore Nomengard.
I would love to go find out where the council meets.
Yeah. I want to explore Nomengard.
Yeah, I want to find an outfitter because I want to get a tricorn for Gem with a G.
Nice. Okay.
Ooh, nice.
The
Absolutely.
contestant
Okay.
should be
So
warned
yeah,
real quick about how toying too much with the blood can cause summoning of the dragons.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we should tell them about that.
Yeah.
yeah.
well-
So. Yeah, I imagine Rook, you kind of, as they're walking off and stuff, you kind of like, oh, and one more thing. Be fucking careful with that dragon's blood.
Yeah.
Kind of give him a fair warning there. All right.
I'll tell them the story of Ebenezer, because I'm sure Ebenezer is widely known.
Yes. I would like to ask if anyone knows Ebenezer Blackstaff.
Yeah, that name perks quite a few eyebrows. And a couple, one even says, oh, you're friends of the Archduke?
Nice.
That we are.
Good friends.
He says, oh, well. And then I imagine the same one that maybe overheard and says, I heard you guys say something about the council meetings.
Yeah.
Are you interested in attending a council meeting?
We can make this
I would love to
place
see where the
lovely.
council meets and maybe meet some of the members.
Oh, well, everyone's a member.
Oh, wow. Is it just a grand hall where you guys go in and talk about issues?
Well, we kind of all just hang off the balcony, like hang over the edge of the balcony and shout stuff at each other.
I thought we had a bad
All right. First things first, suggestion box. Suggestion box on every floor.
That's a
Every
great
station.
idea. We should bring that up at the next council meeting.
Maybe you should have them also more than once a month. And is there a rule in place where you can have emergency council meetings?
No, but those are both great ideas. I mean, you could start one.
I lean off the edge of the balcony. I go, emergency council meeting.
No, not an emergency council meeting. I meant a suggestion box.
I like Luke's idea. Emergency
Come on,
council meeting.
man.
Let's go.
I need a charisma check to see if you can get enough gnomes' attention.
Bro, that's my jam. I just spent the last 2 levels upgrading my charisma. Alright.
It's just gonna end up being the de facto
That's
leader.
gonna be a non-nat 20.
A non-natural 20. Okay.
Yeah, 30-20.
With that, you get some attention. You definitely get some attention, but I wouldn't say that all eyes are on you. It's quite a busy,
Okay.
bustling place.
Do I at least have one person from each floor?
More or less. More or less.
I
You kind of
go
get
down
maybe
to-
like 50 or 100, 50, 75 people, of gnomes, various areas looking at you.
I would yell out, be like, every station needs to have a suggestion box. Also, it might be wise to elect one member from each station or job description or floor, however you decide, to attend the council meetings and to gather opinions and then discuss them in a closed and quiet session and have input from your constituents.
You hear a messy, discombobulated chorus come back to you. That's a really good idea.
Good luck, Rick.
Also, maybe have enchanted bracelets for fly and featherfall to get up and down floors. That might also be an investment that would be wise and would cut down on a lot of safety features.
As Eric keeps talking, go ahead and roll. Let's go ahead and do another charisma check for me. As you keep shouting these
Okay.
suggestions.
Okay. That one is going to be a 24.
Okay. With a 24. By the time, Eric, you get through like your second or third round of suggestions, you've continued to garner more and more attention. By the time that it's all over, you have about half of this place chanting in chorus, "That's a great idea!" And like, you got a lot of people on board. Like, I mean, you got a lot of people on board. You've got quite the cult following here. But
Okay. I scream out, FIFA Revolution. Emergency council session dismissed.
and there's a smattering of applause from various floors.
Is it like in the fucking? I imagine it's like whenever fucking like the dudes in Star Wars. Remember, like they're sitting in the middle seat. It's like,
Oh,
and we will fall, Manu. It's just
The first
clapping.
Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, watch. The next time we come back, it'll be the Republic of Nomengard.
Yeah.
The Great Republic of Nomengard.
Yeah. That's hilarious. So
Okay.
yeah, Eric, you have your emergency impromptu council meeting. As all this is kind of going on, Perry, would you have stayed for the spectacle, or would you have continued on your way, maybe split up to go try to find this tricorn hat?
Oh no, I wouldn't have stayed for that. No, I'm looking for an outfitter for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of as Aruk kind of begins to start his emergency council, you kind of catch a gnome, and you're like, "Hey, man, where can I find like a tailor or an outfitter?" And luckily enough, you get directed to just 2 floors down
Sweet.
to an outfitter, and come to find, as Zezel found earlier, that there is actually a staircase. You can just take the stairs.
Cool.
If you want, there's actually just like, yeah, there's a staircase that goes all the way up to the top and down to the bottom. So you make your way down 2 floors, and you eventually come to one of many various tailors. You see some who are more like smiths who fit armor, special armor, and different things of that nature. But you eventually come to more of a clothing tailor, and you find another old gnome sitting kind of in this small little nook in the wall, and he's got you kind of see he's a bit of a tailor and a cobbler, and he's making various fine leather shoes and things of that nature, and he's got fine leather works all around displayed and hung up on walls and things of that nature. And you approach inside, and he kind of looks up and says, "Well, hello there, stranger. What can I do for you?"
I take off my tricorn hat, and I'm guessing he has like a countertop or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
I'm gonna sit it on the counter and say, well, I am a sailor from the Sword Coast, and I have a need for an outfit and tricorn hat for a new captain in our fleet.
Oh, very, very nice. Okay, I can certainly help you with that. And he says, do you happen to have some measurements, or is he around where I can take some measurements and fit it for him?
I am going to cast Seeming on myself to where I look exactly like Jim with a G.
Hell yeah, awesome. Yeah, so you say just one moment, and you cast a spell and appear to be Jim with a G. And he says, "Oh, brilliant idea." And he says, "Yeah, just give me one moment." And he kind of waddles over and grabs a stool and flips out a cloth tape measure and begins to take some measurements. He measures across your back and everything for a nice leather coat, and takes some head measurements and things. And he says, "Would you like it in the same style as yours? Something different? Something unique? Any maybe particular kind of material you'd like it made out of? With all manner of various leathers."
We see a decent amount of combat, so I would like something that will be sturdy and will hold sturdy for a while. I would like some embroidery of a G on the lapel as well as on the face of the tricorn. Quality is what I'm looking for here. Price point isn't really an issue.
Oh, well, excellent, good sir. I've got some ideas. Give me a few hours and come back and I should have something mocked up for you.
Sure thing. I'm going to don the tricorn, and I'm going to keep my my seeming active, and I'm going to head back up.
Nice. Okay. For the rest of the party, Belren, Venkin, and Zezel, while Perry kind of ventures off to go look for this tricorn hat, is there anything in particular that you lot would like to be doing, or are you guys just hanging out, having some drinks, exploring?
I'm with Aruk all the way. We're taking this place over. He's gonna be the new king of Nomengard.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna end up becoming mayor or something. While he's
Yeah.
speaking, I want to ask one of the gnomes. So who's actually in charge of this place?
Well, we don't really have. You kind of just like catch a gnome that's kind of skittering past you as you guys are kind of standing out on this balcony, and you catch a gnome, and he says, you ask him the question. He says, "Well, we don't really have a ruler. We kind of just live here. It's always been this way."
Who made the decision to, I guess, dig down and make all these big decisions?
Well, you'd probably have to consort with the historians for that answer. I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
He says, but what I do know is that this place has been here for a very, very long time, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
Okay. And y'all just agree up the shaft, and that's what goes?
Well, no one ever said we agree, but yes, basically.
What do you mean?
Well, we don't always see eye to eye, but it's usually basically whoever's loudest.
Aruk's got this.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And he kind of just skitters off back to whatever the hell he was doing. No
I
one
wonder if there's a spell I can. Wonder if there's a spell I can get to amplify my voice.
There is. Yeah, I'm looking.
Is it a cantrip?
I don't know.
Because that would be ideal.
Anything? I may not, actually. I could turn you into something that could yell real loud, but it wouldn't speak necessarily.
Yeah, that's not what I'm going for.
Is there anything
Let me
else
see what my cantrips are.
in this waiting period that any of you would like to specifically be doing? Zezel, are you just kind of with Eric rabble-rousing, with Uruk rabble-rousing, and trying to start a fucking a revolution and some kind of governmental structure to this city, or?
I was, but now the government speak has me on a different idea. So, I want to ask somebody if, like, I don't know, like, if, I don't know, nicely, without insulting anybody, ask where I can find, like, people who may want to become pirates on a ship. because I think gnomes might be the best. Gnome gyms might be the best for my new.
Okay. So you kind of see a gnome, same situation. A gnome goes skittering past you. You kind of grab him and stop him, and you ask him the question, and he says, "Oh, well, I can't say that gnomes are necessarily the type to go adventuring. Most of us are tinkerers. I think you'd probably be hard pressed to find any gnomes here that would be willing to go out adventuring. Most of them are trying to fulfill a life quest, you see. Well, I would say all of us are trying to fulfill our life quest."
Have I made it back up to the 17th floor yet?
I would imagine, yeah, it doesn't take you long to get back up to the 17th floor. Which, by the way, all of a sudden, a lot of you see fucking Jim with a G walk up, walk up wearing Perry's tricorn hat.
I
up,
raised
guys?
my eyes, like my eyebrows. I'm like, what? How?
Zezel, is that all you would like to say to that particular gnome?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess that's a dejecting answer.
So, actually, I do
Shuffle
have a
off,
question for him. I say, we're not really looking for adventurers as much as we are mechanics for our new ship.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You need a ship mechanic. Well, you might try it down at the docks. If there's going to be any gnomes, well, see, what you got to do is you got to find a gnome whose life quest it is to be a ship mechanic.
Do they hang out in
What's
there?
your life quest?
My life quest? Well, my life quest is to, you kind of see he looks a little bit bashful, and he says, my life quest is to find a way to raise people back up to the top.
Raise people back up to the top.
You're
Yeah.
doing a great job so far.
I failed quite a bit, and
Oh,
hopefully they'll go for, at the next council meeting, hopefully they'll go for my new idea.
Don't they already
No
have
idea.
Well, you see, we found this substance that some are referring to as gunpowder.
Oh boy.
My thought is to put the gunpowder in the bottom of a tube, and then put something in the tube to protect them, and then place the individual into the tube, and then shoot them out. It would reduce all of the need for those large, clunky pillars and the expensive spider silk.
Okay.
I got an
I
idea.
hear you.
How about a platform and a pulley system?
Well, we tried that, but no one was strong enough to pull them back up.
How about a potion of fly?
Well, see, that won't work because it's not a new invention. It has to be a new invention. We gnomes pride ourselves in our inventing skills.
Make an enchanted platform.
so wait, you said something's not strong enough. Do you think you could make the gunpowder make something strong enough?
You see kind of his eyes like go up into the top of his head as he's almost like thinking, and then like it's like he becomes just dead silent as he's thinking, pondering the words you said before he gets distracted by his thoughts and just forgets the conversation and begins to drift away. As you can see, he's kind of just like he's enraptured now by this idea of maybe trying to find a way to use the gunpowder to make something heavy enough or something heavy enough or strong enough to pull something back up to the top.
What about a counterweight?
As he's pondering this and kind of wandering away, he stops and turns back around and looks at you, and he says, "A counterweight. Brilliant!" And he kind of begins to like he pulls out some paper and starts writing some shit down as he kind of scurries off.
Lovely. Lovely. Oh man, this place needs OSHA.
We need to channel this energy is what we need to do.
Yes. All right. So if there's nothing else anybody would like to explore or ask, you guys spend some time fucking around, trying to start a revolution, trying to start a Congress and a Senate and all that. Time passes several hours, and your first applicant makes his way out of the back and comes out into this large dining style area to greet you guys. And he has shit all over him. He's got fucking, like, he looks like he's been back there, like, swimming in a big old vat of soup or something. He's covered in all kinds of shit, kind of sticky. But he comes back and he's got this vial, a completely different vial. It's a little bit larger, and he says, "I think I've done it." And he passes it to you guys.
I want to investigate the vial.
Okay, so before opening it or any of that kind of stuff, or you gotta...
Yeah, I want to open it. I want to kind of smell it and check like the viscosity and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so you kind of take it off of him and you kind of like swirl it around, and it looks like a deep, dark, reddish, purplish kind of colored wine. It's not super thick, but it's definitely got some weight to it. As you crack the top on it, it kind of, and it's got a little bit of a hiss, quite a strong hiss. A little bit of smoke comes out of the top of it as you uncork it, and this smell kind of hits you, and it's got various notes. It's kind of earthy and deep, kind of like alcohol smell, and you take a bit of a sip of it. It's good, but I'd say it's about maybe 90% as good as the original. As you taste it, you're hopeful at first as you kind of taste it, and you're like, that's pretty good, but as maybe you kind of take another sip of the original and compare it to it's just not quite there. It's not quite as sweet, and it's just not quite there. And kind of one by one this happens. The one who originally seemed just kind of curious about what the wine tasted like, his was the worst. It wasn't anywhere close to what it should have been. However, finally, after waiting for like an extra hour, the old man comes kind of walking out of the back, completely clean, looking exactly the way he did when he took the vial off of you, and brings up another. He doesn't bring it in a vial. He brings it in a stone chalice, and he presents it to you with a little bit of just a hint of a smirk on his face.
That's fine as long as he's got
That's
the right
us.
shit.
I'll take a
So
sip.
he passes it to you. You take a sip, and this shit rocks your fucking world. It's every bit as good as the original. And then roll insight for me.
19.
19. Funny enough, as you taste it again, you realize it tastes almost identical to the original, to the point that it's definitely tastes almost identical to the original, but just a little bit better. It's got just the smell. It just feels a little bit better. It's a little smoother, and it almost makes you think that maybe, just maybe, this may be where this wine originally came from. You get the suspicion that...
I thought this shit was just opened up from his fucking vein.
Okay. After I'm finished sipping the wine, I'm gonna pass the chalice off to the rest of the party so they can try it. And I'm gonna ask him, "Are you familiar with the wine that we provided?"
You see a bit of a wry smile comes across his face, and he says, "Of course, I made it." He says, long time ago when I was that was I would say that was the moment when I first perfected my craft.
Do you by chance know where we received this wine?
Well, I imagine there's only one place you could have gotten it because there's only one person I've ever made it for.
Yeah. Okay.
And he says, though I am very interested to hear the tale of how, well, once I receive my reward, of course, what, how it is that you guys came across the Great Dragon Paladine.
Well, it's a funny
you
story.
first.
Buckle up.
You first.
There was some plane shift involved. Without
So,
going into
what
too
you
much
might
detail.
call a happy accident, huh?
Something like that.
It was on purpose.
There are no accidents.
He says, I see. Well, do me a favor and, give, he's like, well, firstly, I will take my, I'll take my payment in diamonds if you have them.
It's 10,000. Yeah, we've got it. That'd be 2 diamonds.
He takes the diamonds off you and he says, thank you very much. Flips it into his pocket, and he says, well, I will bring you, I'll bring you the cask, out here in just a moment. But,
Can you make 2 casks?
certainly, I think I can do that for you.
Yeah, I was gonna
he says,
ask, should we just see how much we can get out of them based off the dragon's blood we have?
That's a good idea.
I mean,
Yeah, how much can he make?
We'll pay him more.
Yeah. I want to show him the rest of the cask of dragon's blood and ask how much he can make.
He says, well, with that amount of dragon's blood, not much more. Probably another cask or 2. He roughly average about 1 vial per cask.
Okay.
But if you want to buy more than that, I can do that as well.
What,
Do you have dragon's blood?
Why? Dragon's blood?
As he kind of smiles and he
You
says,
sly dog.
"Come with me." You guys follow him into a back area where he literally already has like 100 casks of this wine
You son of a
already
bitch.
made up. And you can see that there's just a bench with like a glass of like an empty glass of wine and a pipe and some pipe tobacco. He's just been this whole time just been sitting back here with his feet up. You still see the original vial of dragon's blood you gave him just sitting on the counter.
I swiped the vial.
God damn it.
How much? What's your
How much
price
how much
for,
is it?
for
Yeah,
this
what's your price?
wine?
And he says, well, he's like, I can't lie, I kind of like you guys a little bit. You've already paid me quite a bit. I'll tell you what. I just had to get my fun in. Since I only really make this for one person anyway. He said, I haven't shown him. I haven't sent him any of my newest batches yet, so I'll allow you guys to be the first to take it to him. And he says, I've got 12 casks prepared. 2 more diamonds, and they're all yours.
I toss him 2 diamonds.
He
You want
takes
to
the
go
diamonds
with us when we?
Well,
You want to go with
So-
us when we?
He says, nah, I've got my own way of talking with the old dragon.
that was going to be my question. How do you get in contact with him? Just out of curiosity.
That information will cost you quite a bit more than the wine, my good sir. Gnome has to keep his secrets.
What's your price?
What's your price?
Is it just information, or is it the ability to use it?
A little bit of both, my good sir. My price: 1 million in golden gems.
Ooh, that's a little steep there, boss.
When you got the market cornered, you can name your price.
Very true.
I think we're good.
And hang on.
Is it magical in means?
Well, certainly. How else do you suppose you get to to a god's plane of own personal plane of existence?
To be fair, you gnomes are intuitive.
I appreciate that.
It could be a net in the
Bet
spring
it's
system.
ridiculously. I bet it's ridiculously simple.
A really fucking big
Message in a bottle of that shit.
250 foot tall slingshot.
Looks like he's traveling with a Bifrost.
He's got like a DeLorean boat.
So yeah, he says, and he says,
I'd like to ask him: do you have any peers?
peers, as in equals at my craft?
Equals or betters?
I wouldn't say so. Especially not in these parts.
Anywhere. Have you ever conversed with anyone who would be you consider a peer?
Not any that are still living.
So if I raise them from the dead.
Tell me where.
There was one. There was one who was always my biggest competitor. He died many, many, many years ago. A dwarf. Oh, what was his name? He ponders and he says, Fireforge, I think was his name. I don't know his first name. I'm not even sure if dwarves have a first name.
Where did he hail from?
What was the name of that city? It's long gone now. Grim something, I'm not sure.
Grimbadur?
That's it. That's the place.
Fuck.
Bastard.
Yeah, it was near some elven city, I believe. Very deep underground.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been there.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the place like? I've always wanted to visit.
Well,
Rule of undead.
they were under new management.
Oh. Well, that makes sense why he's no longer my biggest competitor.
Yeah. They had a bit of a lich issue.
Oh, dear. Terrible stuff.
Yeah.
And you guys made it out alive, eh?
Well, I said they had an issue.
Well. Seems I underestimated you lot.
I just realized I'm still Jim with a G, and he's just giving up this information to a stranger he hasn't seen before.
Oh, we're all strangers he hasn't seen before.
I mean, he had at least met Perry, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny as you kind of think that, as you're kind of like realizing that, he goes, "Hey, where's that other fella that was with you guys?"
Oh, he's around.
The Triton.
Tony went to go get a new hat.
Ah, okay. Well, he says, if you guys don't mind, I have to get back to my labors, as he kind of gestures over to his comfy looking chair, his big old pipe, and he says, go ahead and grab your casks and,
I would ask one last question. How much for the recipe?
Not on my life, Sonny. See,
Have you named a successor so this line can carry on? Because you may not be immortal, but your one customer is.
that's a good point. Something I haven't considered.
Suggestion box.
He's like, yeah, I heard something about that. There was somebody shouting earlier about a suggestion box. It's a great idea. We should bring it up at the next council meeting.
Made this place. Okay. I would
So-
ask if you should probably either A, name a successor to teach your craft to, or you should sell your recipe. Because your one customer will always want it.
Well, I wouldn't just give my recipe away to anyone.
Would you say give it
I'll
away
have to think about it.
to someone who is, already in good graces with your
In
customer?
with? Yeah.
Mm.
What about the Duke?
Well-
No, the Archduke.
Roll persuasion.
I'm gonna
Okay.
cast guidance on that.
Okay.
I get a
It's
D4 also.
right?
I'm going to cast guidance on myself as well.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, D4.
All right, here we go. I get a, persuasion. That's a plus 11.
Ooh,
Okay,
shoot.
20.
Damn. Okay. With a 20, he's like, indeed, you do have a connection. He goes, I'll tell you what. Let me think on it. Take this new wine to Paladine and let me know what he thinks of it. And return. When you return, we'll discuss it again.
If it means anything, we are in good graces with a few more metallic dragons. We might be able to expand the clientele.
Definitely food for thought. I appreciate the offer, and I will consider it seriously.
I look forward to hearing from you.
I like finger guns at him, and I
Ooh,
say
yeah, finger
suggestion
guns.
box.
He, without missing a beat, he fucking finger guns right back at
As I finger gun, I'm gonna drop my illusion, my disguise.
He goes, he gets a bit of a chuckle and he goes, I had a little bit of a feeling. And he says, alright, now get your casks and get the fuck out of my shop.
Absolutely.
As you guys grab the casks and make your way, I imagine down
Wait,
to...
before we leave, I want to ask him, how many casks are supposed to go? How many did he place an order for?
He doesn't really place an order. I just kind of send him however much I can make every so often.
Okay, Raj.
So yeah, you guys make your way out of his shop, down to the Perry shows you guys the fact that there's a fucking staircase. You guys make your way down to the to the 15th floor, where you walk into the cobbler's shop, and he says, and he's kind of, as you guys walk in, he's walking out of the back room, and he says, perfect timing. And you see he throws this like absolutely fucking gorgeous leather coat and sets a tricorn right on top of it for you to inspect. Go ahead and roll investigation on it for me.
All right. 5.
It is a leather coat and a tricorn hat.
Does it have
Oh, nice quality.
Does it have the embroidery that I
It's from-
requested?
It does have the embroidery. It does have the G's that you asked for specifically.
Does it have any magical properties?
It is slightly enchanted. Yes. It
Okay.
would give him a +2 to his AC.
Excellent.
It looks real good.
It looks real nice.
Real nice.
I'm going to ask him what his price is.
Well, I used if you see here, he kind of points out as he kind of rubs his hand over it. He says, "I used shark skin, and so it's water resistant. It will repel water, keep him from getting wet, and also very durable. For the coat and the hat, that would be 3,000 gold, my good sir."
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Are there any special features to this this outfit here?
He says, yes, there are two special features. One is when worn in combination, they grant a total of he basically explains it to you to where you understand that when you have that when he's wearing them together, he gets a +2.
Mm-hmm.
Each is just a +1 by
Right.
themselves.
Yeah.
For a total of +2. And then he says, and there's one more feature that I've added. And he opens up the inside of the coat, and there's a pocket on the inside. And he sticks his whole arm into the pocket. That only looks about this.
Oh,
Nice.
sick.
Very cool.
So yeah, it has essentially, for you guys' understanding, it has half of a bag of holding inside the thing. So normally a bag of holding would could hold about the bed of a full size pickup truck. So this is think of like a Chevy Avalanche.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
That's really cool.
So yeah, it's very very well done. It's all this nice it's got in the natural light, it has almost a little bit of a deep blue to the leather. It's pretty. It is really nice. And there's a really cool, interesting, bright red feather coming out of the tricorn hat as well. It's kind of tucked
Awesome.
into it. It's very well done.
Sweet.
So yeah, you guys. Is that all you'd like to do while you guys are here in Nomengard? Is there anything else you'd like to do before you guys make your way out?
Well, I'm gonna give him the 3,000 gold.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I don't know. Is anybody interested in any kind of weapons or anything?
No, I think I'm good. Max, I don't
Good.
know how much you got, buddy.
No, I think I'm pretty set on everything.
Cool. Good deal. All right. So you guys, are you guys gonna try to find an interesting way out, or are you guys just gonna try to follow the stairs all the way up?
Well, I'm
I was
jumping.
gonna ask, how do you get arrows
Yeah.
back up?
Yeah, the barrel's up.
Yeah, certainly. So, yeah, there's what did he say? You guys got a
12.
dozen,
Well,
12 total barrels.
Yeah.
Now I will say, I said these are casks of wine. These aren't 55-gallon motherfuckers.
Oh, so
These
5
are,
gallon.
Yeah, 5
gallon.
Yeah, 5-gallon each casks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these aren't big motherfucking 55-gallon barrels. These are wine casks. They're only about 5 gallons each. Sorry, I should say.
I'm gonna go look.
Do
over
we
the
have
balcony.
a bag holding?
No.
Dude, maybe we should have
Can
asked
we go
that
buy
dude to
one?
make us.
Let's just go buy one.
I'm
Well,
sure
I
he's
mean,
got one.
or if we can just.
Hey, do you think we
take
could
the net-
fit 12 casks? You think we could fit 12 casks in
In the jacket.
in the Chevy Avalanche? Yeah.
Yeah, you probably actually could. You could probably fit 12 5-gallon buckets in a Chevy Avalanche.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So yeah, you can just hurt and just start shoving these casks into this coat. Oh. Yeah, so you just walk out with a coat over your fucking
It's so
straight over your
stupid.
arm.
I'm gonna go look over the balcony and see if the feathers are still there.
You see that they're mostly cleaned up. You see there's 20 gnomes down there with brooms and shit cleaning up fucking feathers. Shoving
the
them back
17th
into the
floor.
bag. Back into the big canvas bag that was down there.
And I'm on the 17th floor.
50.
Okay.
Alright,
Oh.
as I'm walking down, do I see any suggestion boxes?
No.
I'm jumping.
You're
No, he's not. I'm gonna grab him.
You're gonna grab Perry's gonna try to stop you.
Where is the dude that said that he was looking for a better way to get people up and down?
You don't know. He kind of just took off in a different direction. You don't see him.
I want to
anywhere.
find the next engineer-like looking gnome, and I want to be like, tubes, pressurized air,
There you
or
go.
water.
You just see a gnome, just like with like artificer's goggles on, walking past you, and you just stop and be like, tubes, compressed air, or water. And you see like his eyes get fucking absolutely huge, and he just takes off running.
And then before he leaves, I finger gun him suggestion box.
Yeah. Suggestion box. He shouts back, "That's a great idea!" The next
For the
council
next
meeting.
council meeting. Alright.
So
I fucking walk back over to the entrance, and I'm like, can you guys get us a cage back up at the top?
we don't have any cages that go up.
How do you get them up?
How do you get up?
Well, no.
Well,
how
the
do you get the
slingshot,
cages
of course.
up?
You just gotta go all. You just gotta say up and out.
How do you guys get the cages back up?
Up
Well,
and
we've
out.
got a whole different system for that, but I don't know if it's safe for people.
What's the system?
Okay.
Huh?
How,
You slingshot them
like in
back up.
detail, how do you
I
get the cages up?
guarantee you, he's gonna tell us it's an elevator, which is like the answer to all their problems.
No, no, you see, that, he says, well, this is, we do this, and then he says, he points over, and you see gnomes dragging these cages off into, like, this, kind of, like, into this mouth, this opening off into the side on the main floor, and, you see him kind of dragging, and then every so often, now that he kind of points it out to you, from that cave, you hear echoing, like, a distant, like, poof, and a little bit of air will out of that thing every so
So you just
often.
throw it up to the top. Got it. They just fucking shoot it up like the fucking tubes I was just talking about. Great.
Great. All right.
Okay. I just look at him, I go up and out.
Up and out.
He goes, all right, boys, up and out. You guys get strapped into the sling, and they fucking so this time for up and out they get they disconnect the single seat, and they put a big ass multi-seater on there for you guys. They pile you guys all in at the same time, and they go, all right, everybody, up and out, and they fucking crank you guys all the way. And you see at the top, you see there's like a whole pulley system, and it's pulling back a fucking like a door at the top, at the ceiling of this thing, exposing this big open hole in the ground. You guys fucking, they're like, all right, ready. You guys fucking launch all 40 stories up into the air, up through the hole. And then you hear, and then you just see a net shoot from the backside of the building and fucking over the top. And you guys fucking land on the net and have to crawl over. And you just emerge from around the backside of the building, past the pile of cages. And as you're passing, as you emerge out of this hole, you see off in the distance, maybe 100 feet, maybe 100, 200 feet, further behind the building, you see a fucking cage come flying up out of the hole and just land into another pile. And then you see gnomes dragging. You see gnomes dragging cages from one pile to the other pile, which from that pile, cages are being loaded into the building to lower people.
Mm. Do I spot any sign of suggestion boxes up top?
Nope. None
Is
of
there
the
spare
suggestion
lumber?
boxes-
Is there
Huh?
spare lumber? Is there
Yeah.
spare lumber from broken cages or something?
Yeah, everywhere.
I want to take an hour to build a suggestion box before I leave.
Yeah, you can. I'll say it doesn't take you an hour because you can. Belrin is an artificer. You can enlist his help.
Yeah.
And I say it
Yes.
doesn't take you guys that long. You guys can pretty quickly throw together a suggestion box. And what are you gonna do with your suggestion box, Eric?
I am going to write down, I'm going to take that hour, I'm going to write down every suggestion I've had on a parchment scroll, and I'm going to put them in the box, and I'm going to show the dude at the top, like, this needs to make this needs to be on every station down there. I was like, you open it up at every council meeting and you take them out and you read the suggestion.
Well, that's a great
All right,
idea.
good idea.
Oh shit, Eric.
Don't bring it up the next count. Just do.
Just do it. He says, okay.
Just do
all
it.
right. He kind of spies at you funny and he goes, alright. And they bring in another cage and one guy goes down there with the suggestion box. He gets lowered, just holding your suggestion box. Alright, so, you
I
guys
finger
made
guns
it.
him. I go, see you at the next council meeting.
He says, alright, see you at the next council meeting. As he's lowering down the shaft. And you guys have made it your way out of Nomengard.
Hey,
All right, so what's the move? Are we going to talk to the dock workers, or are we going to plane shift again?
oh yeah, we were gonna talk to dock workers.
So, okay. Yeah, we can talk to dock workers first. I thought we had a way of just talking to Paladine separately, because plane shift is random.
So, from my understanding of the way plane shift works is if you've already been to the other plane of existence once, that you've got a good chance of at least being able to make it back to that plane of
Oh, yeah,
existence.
you can specify a target dimension. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, last time you guys were just like, yeah, whatever, and I fucking rolled on a table for it. But yeah, you guys have a target. I think you have to roll a percentage die, and then if you get a certain amount, then you hit that area exactly, and then the further away from 100, I guess, the further away you land from the targeted area, I guess. I think it's something.
Hey, real quick,
It's been a while since I've
how
looked.
much longer are we gonna play?
We can wrap it up soon if you need to.
I only have 45. Ciao.
Okay.
What?
So you only
So I
have
just
45
didn't.
minutes. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so Chow closes at 6:30 here, so I wanted to get there in time to eat.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. We'll wrap up here in a minute. We'll go ahead and call it for this session, and we can do the Pirate Isle next session. Okay. So you guys can try to find some.
Yeah,
Go.
maybe we can play next weekend.
Yeah, I hope so. So we'll if you guys want to try to talk to some dock workers and see if you can maybe find a couple of gnomes to join you on your adventure, you're more than you guys can absolutely do that. Or if you guys would like to, you guys can go ahead and make your way to Paladine, and then come back and deal with all that stuff later. It's up to you, whichever you guys would like to do first.
Well, I know Zezel's really wanting some gnomes. They come in mind, so.
I just want gems.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this isn't like I said. This isn't the last place that you guys are going to be able to acquire new gems, and you guys do already have Darren. So, I mean,
We do have a day.
maintenance extraordinaire. So, as far as there's nothing that says that you guys might not find a gnome or two on the Pirate Isle, because if you're going to find pirating gnomes, good place to look for them.
Good point.
Yeah. I just want short guys to help me run the ship because, I don't want fucking big ass gems doing burpees all day.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, are you guys? Would you guys like to then head towards the Pirate Isle first, or try to plane shift?
My vote is to plane shift.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we just go
Okay.
ahead and check that off the
Me.
quest list.
All right. Looks like everybody.
Commodore?
I'm staying here with the ships this time.
Bold move.
Bold move. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
If that's the case, I'm going to give him the outfit, Jim with a G's outfit, with the exception of.
Well, wait. Take the one. We need.
I know,
one of these
I know.
for the wine.
I know.
Okay.
With the exception of. I don't know, 3 casks?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
3 casks
you
of
guys-
wine?
You're just taking 3 casks or leaving behind 3 casks?
Leaving, I think.
No, taking 3.
Oh.
Taking 3.
Well,
Yeah,
only
he
giving
didn't.
him-
He didn't specify a
giving him-
quantity. He just said we had to find some that was
Yeah.
better.
That's right.
So if we keep most of it on hand, we might be able to have some leverage on him.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
We're playing
So,
a dangerous game here.
Hey,
you guys leave Jim with the G's new drip with Zezel. You fucking get your 9 as well as your 9 casks of ale, and you each grab a cask of ale. The 4 of you each, except for one of you, grabs a cask of ale, and Venkin, you open it up. You
Yep.
open up a portal.
did
All right.
was Belrin with us when we went to go see Paladine the first time?
No, I was not.
No.
Ooh, you're in for a treat.
Can you see? Hold up.
Well,
I have a question. Can you see through the portal that he creates?
I don't think it's
So,
a
like,
portal. I think we just
you
kind of
Tell
like
where it's
disappear.
going after it's
No.
made.
It
No,
doesn't.
it's not like a
No,
proper
we-
portal. It's like you have to stand in a
teleport.
circle, hold hands, kind of thing, and then you're
Yeah.
all transported.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Then
So-
yeah, I'm not going.
Okay.
You don't want to hold
All
my
right. You guys stand in a circle, do your thing. You gonna go ahead and roll your percentage die?
So I think you're only rolling. Somebody rolls against you if you're trying to banish them.
Oh, okay.
If it's
Alright.
an unwilling creature.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
gotcha.
see anything about rolling in here.
Okay, cool. I could be mixing it up with another spell. So it has been a while since I've looked the actual text of that spell up. So all right, yeah. You guys all stand in a circle, link hands, and cast the spell. A brilliant flash of light, as before, as you guys all begin to see the swirling energy around you, and you're gone. Right before your eyes, Dezel. You were part of it last time. You didn't get to see it from a outside perspective, and it looks quite strange as you see their bodies like stretch and sucked into like an infinitely small point.
Glad I stayed here.
And Zezel, you make your way back to the ships to give Jim with a G his new gear. The rest of you find yourselves on a gold paved road like before. Dust, red, dirt, desert, kind of same color red sky with distant flashes of heat lightning in the background. And about 500 yards up the golden road that you stood on before, you see the now familiar sight of a massive golden gleaming and red jewel encrusted castle, stretching almost infinitely into the air, with various spires, and you don't see Paladine, but you begin to make your way towards the castle. As you approach, you see that the doors are open and waiting for you. As you enter the exterior-most portcullis into the courtyard, before you enter the keep, you hear what to all but Belrin is a familiar sound of what sounds like something large, metal on metal, creaking and scratching and tic-tacking, before seeing a massive golden gem-encrusted dragon who's much larger than any dragon that, well, Belrin for sure you've ever seen, since a lot of you have seen him once before. Absolutely massive, and he comes around and he says, "Ah, welcome back, and with a fresh face I see." And you see he kind of jumps off. He's kind of crawling, attached to the side of the spire as he comes around the side, and then he jumps off and floats gingerly to perch on the edge of the portcullis. But as he does, he kind of transforms into this swirling mass that slowly lowers itself into the ground before you, and then as the swirling mass dissipates, you see standing before you about an 8.5 foot tall man that's familiar to all but Belrin, dressed in long flowing golden robes with bright red hair and beard, standing kind of slicked back and long red beard, and piercing bright red eyes. And he says, "Welcome back, all of you. I trust you have brought me something."
I say, it's always a pleasure to see the Dragon Lord. We indeed we are hoping that we have an offering here that's going to meet your request.
He says, "Excellent. Well, please come inside. Let's sit down, eat, and you guys can tell me some new stories. I hope you've had some new adventures since I last spoke with you. You know I love to hear stories."
Oh, we.
I want to ask
Go ahead.
Perry real quick if we remember the names of the two dragons. That way we can give them credit because we told them.
I looked through my notes. I don't have them written down.
Oh no.
So,
So
uh,
I was gonna cheese it, but
one of them, one of them was called Skyblade, and the other one was called Scion Bloodbane.
that's right.
Yeah, Blade and Scion.
Sky and
Got
Sun.
it.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
All right.
So
Yep.
he gestures you all into his great hall. Belrin, you are absolutely taken aback by this, and you're almost a little unnerved by how your compatriots don't seem to be as awestruck as you are. As you've never seen anything quite like this. First off, you've never seen a building this absolutely magnificent and massive. Every inch of this thing is made of solid gold. From every screw, doorknob, every inch of this thing is made of pure solid gold. The only break in the gold anywhere are in various places, such as keystones set into archways, and various spires and things are decorated with these some large, some small, massive, in some cases red ruby-like gems. As you enter into this absolutely grand feasting hall, this large, pure golden table with golden chairs that have golden benches that have golden like fabric padding stitched into them. As you guys enter, you see magically goblets appear, just enough for all of you to sit down closest to the head chair, which is this massive throne seated at the far end of one table, of the end of this massive table that sits in the center of the room. And you see in that area towards the end of the table this massive feast of, smoked animals, vegetables, fruits, of all exotic varieties, anything you could imagine, breads, everything you could ever want, cheeses, all laid out before you. And he says, "All right, now, I'm very excited to try this. Please, sit down, sit down."
I have a seat and sit one of the casks on the table.
He says, "Ah, wonderful," and with just a flick of his finger, the cask raises up and rotates around, and then opens at the little at a point and begins to pour himself a glass. And then as soon as it finishes pouring his glass, it tips back up and then moves its way around the room, pouring each of you a glass into these beautifully crafted golden goblets that have been placed in front of each of you. And he says, he kind of gives it a sniff, and if anybody would like to roll insight, they can, as he begins to sniff.
Absolutely.
9.
Oh,
11.
damn.
Let's see.
Oh, that'd be a 13.
13. Okay.
17.
Ooh, 17. Belrin. All right.
12.
Okay. So, no one else notices, but Belrin, you catch the faintest hint of a smile after he gives this a little pass under his nose. And he takes a sip, and a, a long moment of suspense and kind of bated breath as he, without betraying anything, just kind of, you see, kind of works the liquid around in his mouth and then swallows, and you see kind of contemplates, licks over his teeth, and he says, and then he kind of looks at each of you individually and he says, it's wonderful. I didn't think that you would be able to do it. He says, but I see that you met an old friend of mine.
As soon as he says that, I want to alter self and shapeshift into him.
Shapeshift into who?
The winemaker?
The winemaker.
And he says, yes, precisely. And he says, yes, he's been a dear friend of mine for many, many years. He says, I figured the only way that you'd be able to accomplish this would be to find the old man. And he says, but it's delicious. Now, everyone, please, dig in, but I need a story while I eat.
I would like to tell him about how I tried to get the gnomes to join a republic and that make suggestion boxes and
We'll let it
the
go.
most recent tale.
As you spend probably an hour regaling Paladin with this absolutely riveting tale of how you tried to instill some kind of order into gnomish society, he, through several times, erupts into deep belly laughter and quite the jovial figure. As you can tell, he's quite pleased by the story. And after you get done relaying it to him, he says, my good sir, you are not the first to try to instill some kind of order into those people. I'm afraid it can never be done. And
I
he
did
says,
get them to
but I
make a
commend
suggestion
your
box.
effort. Huh?
I did make them a suggestion box. Let's hope they use it.
He says, only time will tell. He says, but knowing the gnomes as I do, your suggestion box will probably morph into something much more complicated. And
Suggestion bazooka.
yeah. Suggestion slingshot. So, oh shit. He says, as you guys continue eating and feasting and everything else like that, he says, well, come on, continue. You must have had more stories than that. And I imagine you guys spend the next few hours, because I'm sure you have to long rest before you can use the spell again anyway. Or have you gotten another one of those spell slots, Venkin?
Okay, wait. Sorry, I was still reading alter self. What'd you say?
I asked if you're gonna need a long rest before you can use that spell again this time.
No, I can burn a higher spell slot.
Oh, okay. All right. So he says he just wants you guys to continue to tell the different various tales. You know, he likes to be entertained. He doesn't have guests very often. And he says, all right. Well, after you guys had got done telling him various things about, I'm sure you told him about Zack Soroth and told him about the Pirate King and what you learned about
The blood
all these
eagling of
different
Jackal.
things. Yes, and all of those things, and he eventually says, "Well, I propose a toast." As the cask goes back around and refills all of your wine casks, and he says, "To promises kept." And he raises his chalice.
I raise mine.
Promises kept.
And you all salute and sip to the toast, and he says, now, a favor. You guys have one favor that I will grant you. Anything within my power that I can do, I will grant.
If I'm not mistaken, as per our previous conversation, the agreement was your assistance when we take on the Leviathan.
Not right now, baby.
Yes, a quite difficult task. I cannot enter. Well, I could, but it would be very destructive for me to enter your plane of existence. So I will only be able to offer what aid I can from here.
Okay.
However, when when the moment of truth has come and you are in your most direst of need, and he reaches into a hidden pocket or something within his flowing golden robes and presents a miniature statue of a small red gem-eyed golden dragon. And he says, simply speak my name to this small trinket, and I will offer whatever help I can in the moment.
Okay.
But use only in the direst of circumstances, because our deal was for one favor.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And he says, now that business is concluded, let's drink, let's feast. You're more than welcome to spend the night here. I would be very pleased to have your company. Yeah. So if you guys, if you guys want to plan on leaving back out after you eat, or are you going to take him up on his hospitality and stay for the night?
What's the time dilution?
If I'm not mistaken, it was a couple months last time.
Yeah, I think you're right. I thought it was something pretty big. So
Yeah, you guys were last time. You guys were gone for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. I think we
Yeah,
should probably hurry back to Zezel
Right.
if we could.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say to Paladine, we would love to stay. However, unfortunately, the way time dilutes with our home plane of existence, we're gonna lose a lot of time if we stay even a few more hours. So we we must get going.
He says, I understand. And he says, well, I'm sorry to see you go, but I understand. It's been wonderful having your company. And remember, only in the direst of circumstances. And he says, but you're more than welcome to finish your meals before you leave.
Oh, I do have a question.
Yes.
So, as you and I are both aware, gnomes are not immortal.
They are not.
Did you have a contingency plan for how to continue receiving your wine after our mutual contact passes?
Or tires.
Tires.
An interesting predicament. No, I hadn't quite considered it. It's definitely something for me to think on, though.
We proposed to our contact us to inherit the privilege after he's finished.
You know, I would like that. However, if you're going to take on that responsibility, I would have one request.
Okay.
That every so often you send, however many of you can spare, up here to have dinner with me and
Of course.
tell me some of your stories and regale me with some of your tales and deeds. I would very much enjoy that.
Absolutely. Just think on it and let us know, and I'll set another cask of the wine there on the table for him.
He says, excellent. I certainly will. He says, good luck. Safe travels. And I imagine you guys are going to go ahead and join hands and go ahead and bug on out.
I think so.
All right, you guys
Yep.
I
join
will
hands.
say, you guys are gonna be one cast to get down because while you guys were gone, I shared one with all the gems.
I mean, we only gave him 2
Fair.
out of the 3, so that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you guys probably spend maybe a total of 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, this time, and when you return back to the deck of the ship, still anchored at the port in Nomengard, you find that uh, about a week has passed. Uh,
Damn.
so only about a week. So this entirety of the time, I imagine Zezel and the boys have been polishing off one of those casks of wine and
Recruiting, maybe.
Maybe recruiting, yeah.
Yeah.
maybe doing some recruiting. Yeah, absolutely. I would say Zezel, you're able to find two gnomes in your time in your week that you hang out in Nomengard. You're able to find only two, but still two nonetheless. Two gnomes to join your crew. Um, you'll have to come up with gym names for them. Uh, but
Gym Gnome 1, Gym Gnome 2.
so you guys, but you're able to find two young brothers, as a matter of fact, who inherited the same life quest from their father, and that life quest is to perfect the windlass sail.
Nice.
Awesome.
So you guys have now these two gnome brothers who are, that's their whole entire purpose. So they will be aboard the windlass sail, or
Alright.
gymless sail.
Do I have any first mates on this ship yet?
No, I don't believe you've
I
established
don't
any
think
of
I
that.
do. Okay, so these two are going to be the half mates. They're both going to be the first mate.
Nice.
Nice. Yes, absolutely. When they go into first mate mode, they just stack on top of each other and wear a big,
Right.
big coat.
Perfect.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So yeah, you guys have finally completed your end of the bargain and have gained your favor from Paladine. I imagine you guys, fill Zezel and everybody in, and leave the port of Nomengard to sail south to the Pirate Isle to speak with Madame Inanna, the seeress, and hopefully gain some information about the location of the remaining skulls and or gems set within those skulls. And I believe that's a great place to go ahead and call it, because that should hopefully give Eric enough time to go get some grub before the place closes.